What's up, everyone? Brian here with ETM 540 Clubhouse, back in the shop for some more Wasteland Weekend 2023 preparation. And we are actually going to be getting back on Rhonda's motorcycle today. We got a lot of work to do. The event is coming up super quick, like 3.5 weeks. And yeah, we're limited in time, so we want to get this done. So we got Harry in the house today. He's going to be kind of popping in and out as we work on some stuff. Rhonda's back at home with grandbaby. They're kind of just chilling out. So we're just going to jam. We're going to do some motor mounting. We'll put the wheel back on. Maybe start hooking up linkages. I don't know. We're just going to go after it. So there's probably going to be a lot of time lapse in this video. But we really got a lot to do. So let's make it happen. And yeah, we're excited though. It's going to be fun. But anyways, let's stop talking and get... Let's get back to work. All right, so just to give you an idea of what I was just doing is that I took these chain tensioners and I pushed them all the way forward. So that way it gives us maximum adjustability for the chain when we finally get the engine in. So we're gonna put this back wheel back on, and then hopefully that'll give us more options as far as you know, once we get the engine in. So that back tire's got to go on first. Then we can plop that back in, and then we can see about setting our height and all that. So let's do it. So I could already see where there was going to be a problem. So those nuts or bolts for the rear sprocket, they were, when I had it fully pushed forward, hitting on the chassis on the rear swing arm. So we're already about halfway out from being able to, you know, adjust any. So, which is fine. So long as we have some adjustability on it, we're gonna be okay. So we're just gonna set that there. And then we'll set the other side to the same thing. And then we can go off of that. And just know that that is like our maximum point of being able to move it forward. So that way we're not rubbing metal on metal. But that's good. At least we know we can start there. So with that, I think what we'll do now is we're gonna go ahead and start putting the mounts or mounts spacer skateboard wheels. We're gonna get those into place off of what we thought was our markers and drill some holes, and then also drill some holes in the engine plate and the chassis and bolt those together, and then we can actually put the engine on and just partially bolt it down. We do need a little bit more space in there, so we'll make those. But anyways, yeah, let's break it. And I apologize now if this seems like it's a little bit like and we don't do some of our normal goofy stuff, because yeah, we're on a tight schedule and we want to get it done. We want to be able to run it and test it and make sure everything's good. So this one's gonna be a little bit like that, pretty much. All right, being that I didn't take advantage of this last time, and that it is a tiny little piece of shop equipment. I'm gonna do something to make my life easier on drilling through the engine plate and the chassis. Here, take a look at this. It's called problem solving, people. Don't tell me you've never taken your Harbor Freight drill press set on top of your Harbor Freight motorcycle lift with a couple 1x2s and made it work. I like it. All right, well, hey, I gave it a try. And in theory, it would have worked, yet I couldn't really get a good clamp on it, on the drill press. And even though that thing is just a little guy, I, in my head, imagine this bit catching, all I need to do is snag one piece of metal, and then that packs a freaking punch. So I would just hate for my arm and limbs to get snagged between that drill press and all those jagged little edges in that engine or that chassis. So I'm just gonna do it by hand because I'm a big
Whoa, language.
No, I'm just being smart. I still have a full-time job. You gotta have limbs. So take 2. All right. Gosh, I might actually. Yeah, don't make a mess though. You're going straight down right there. Break whatever that is. There it is. All right, so well, the of course I forgot to bring the good drills. Why would I bring the good drills? That would only make our life easier. Anyways, we tried the cheapy cordless Black & Decker. That died. And then Harry reminded me that we had a corded drill. And so I was actually teaching him the importance of not going too fast with corded drills, because if those things catch, they'll break your freaking wrist. And we luckily had the bit not fully tightened on to where there was almost like a little clutch action going on, because at one point it did go really fast and caught, but it didn't keep spinning. But yeah, I've seen some nasty accidents happen that way. So just be careful with corded drills, people. You can't get your hand out of the way fast enough. So anyways, I'm gonna have him do the other side, and just remember, this is just to bolt the plate in, and then we can start drilling our holes for our engine mount, and then go from there. So yeah, I'm just gonna time lapse him just drilling a bunch of crap. So thanks freaking bolt, engine mount bolt, you know what I mean. Frickin' frack. Those things are in. We just need to tighten them down. Now Harry's doing the 2 front engine mount holes, and then we're gonna get the 2 rear. The oil kind of took away our markers. So, we'll get those jamming and then go from there. What's taking so long? I ordered my burger hours ago. Or you can do that way too. The old merry-go-round. Okay, now you're gonna have to swap them because the bolt's too long. So now swap, put the ratchet on top. Yeah. You'll find your rhythm. I don't know why I'm talking. It's a freaking controlling OCD, ADD attitude. Harry likes seeing me punch myself.
Uh-huh.
Ah! What? You want some of this, kid?
No.
Huh? 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 I thought you were gonna go for it on camera, especially. Normally, he'd be all over that. Wants a little beatdown. Little beatdown action. Actually, it's a pretty fair fight. I'm old. All right, now that Harry's finally done getting those bolts on. I'm just kidding, kid. We need to refine where our holes are. Actually, I see one of them. There's black mark right there.
I saw the other one. I think it was right there. Yeah, it
Ew.
was right. It was right there because it matched up with this one.
All the nasty poo-poo poops. Okay, so go. Ugh. God, I am freaking OCD is such a bitch. It was a workspace, but I have to have it clean every freaking time. Okay, so grab the hammer and the little punch thing. It's over here, behind, in our little OCD corner. Oh, maybe it isn't. I'm wrong. Oh my God, it failed me. There we go. Grab that and then do it on top of that hole right there. And just smack it a few times. Oh, it moved on you. That's all right. Smack it again. Okay, now you're gonna have to put it back. Yep. Hit it hard. Wait, not. Oh! Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. And then now go to where the other hole is. Yeah, that's the most accurate way to do it. Is just draw a line with it where you think. Yeah, perfect. Nail it. There you go. I've done that technique many times, so I'm not fully bashing you. And nice. Yeah, beat it like it owes you money. Yeah, bitch. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a weird mood today. All right, so now that we got all of our holes set in place, which I hope are correct. Yeah, if they're not, it's all good. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna make a spacer out of this. So that way we have a spacer between our skateboard wheel, or on top of our skateboard wheel, which will be in between the plate and the... You know what I'm talking about. Let's just freaking cut these. Jesus! Okay, now that we got those marked out, gonna drill some holes in these suckers. And then, just kind of clean up some of this stuff. Just on the old wire wheel, on the old bench grinder. And then we're gonna start trying to mount it, see what happens. So cross your fingers, folks. I hope this works. All right, let's do this. Okay, got our plates or spacers. So let's get our skateboard wheels in place, and then these on top of the skateboard wheels, and then we'll put the motor up and see what happens. Hopefully everything will line up. I got good hopes. We overly measured, so, but we'll see. Well, the good news is that it looks pretty freaking solid. The bad news is that the gas cap is hitting that crossbar. So I need to make an executive decision here of whether or not we cut it off completely or if we just heat this bastard up and just pound the piss out of it. I'm not sure what to do at this point. But either way, we'll figure it out. Okay, so I was just looking at some of our other bikes and just with how they're built and whatnot. And to be honest, most of them, I mean, even just the ATC 70s that my fat ass get onto, they don't even have a down tube or anything. You know what I mean? So we've got stuff going on here that where I think it's going to be okay. So I'm going to cut that thing out of there and just call it good because we need to move on to the next step. So let's do that. All right, well, there was no like major stress and no flex like when I cut that side off. Oh, that was blurry then. Crap. Okay, there we go. It's because it wants to focus on this guy. So when I cut this end off, it didn't compress or anything, and the same with this end when I first started cutting that. And so I think it's going to be okay. You know what? We'll find out definitely the first time we ride it. Well, at least Rhonda will. Ew. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't want it to happen while she rides it. But it seems like it's going to be okay. And like I said, I checked all the other bikes and majority of them didn't have that down tube. So, or that tube, that brace. So who knows what it was there for. But at this point, we don't give a crap. So let's try and mount this engine again. It's funny, this looks so sketchy, but yet it looks so sketchy, but yet it actually is pretty solid. Well, I mean, it will be once we bolt it down, but getting it on there was just such a pain. And I honestly wish that we would have, you know, maybe knew about how to set it up better, but like by actually raising up the chassis. But hey, it's our first time. We don't give a crap. So, but we'll make sure it's all functional and safe before we do anything. So now we got the front bolts in. We're going to get the back ones in. I'm going to just kind of lift up the engine and let Harry wiggle those things in there. And then we'll get it bolted on. Call it good. Outside of wanting to beat this child because he got all fidgety with our washers and mixed them up. I'm just kidding. He's learning. This is was the hardest part, and we had to do it twice. But that's all part of learning, and that's part of him learning the process. But it's in there, and I got a boo-boo. I got a boo-boos. I need a boo-boo too. But anyways, it's in there. So before we do any major tightening, I want to lengthen out the chain. Obviously, because we got to make sure that aligns. And then we got to set the adjustments on the rear axle and do all that stuff, but at least it's like mounted. It's perma mounted right now in a sense. So let's do that part. and see what happens from there. Because the chain, I don't have a chain breaker big enough, but I have a bunch of what do they call it? Jesus, I can't think right now. Master links. We have master links. Gosh dang it. I had to freaking think about it for a second. So we could always just grind some off and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Let's just freaking do it. Okay, so we're gonna pull this master link off this spare chain that we got that happens to be a 420 chain. And size it up with what we need extra for, and then see if we can't get that chain on to where we can tighten all the bolts and blocks and beijing and burging and let's go. Okay, so we are, it's close. We just have to take one more link out, and then we'll be good. It's always better to have more than you need so you can downsize than to take off too much and then have to figure out putting more on. More on. Anyways, okay, let's do it. Master link number 1 and number 2 are in, and I'm sure it's probably not the best thing to have a master link or 2 of them in there, but screw it, whatever. So now we'll just try and adjust out the chain, and then I want to allow actually for the motor to kind of like pull itself back, because I'd rather it like self-adjust now than after we have it all tightened up. So yeah, I think we're just gonna try and like get it to, with the wheel, adjust itself through that, and then make our like adjustments for stuff hitting in some places. Like down in here, we know it might rub a little bit if we don't have it adjusted out right and all that. So let's just give it a shot and just kind of slowly work it into place and go from there. Okay, so with how it's set up, I mean, honestly, nothing is, and it's so funny that we keep the lights off on days like today because, well, I mean, it gets hot in general, but, so we're working at low light, and I don't know, I'm not like, I mean, I'm into film and stuff, but I don't get super hardcore into settings and all that, but it's darker in here, and it's funny that my phone automatically turns the light on. It's kind of convenient though. But anyways, this thing isn't slipping back anymore than it already is. These are locked in place. Nothing seems to be rubbing, so I'm literally just going to go ahead and take a freaking risk and tighten all these engine mount bolts down and just see where we're at after that. If we need to tighten the chain anymore, we have our tensioners, but after, you know, that's set in place, then from there, we can go ahead and work on, well, we still need to replace the tube in this one, but that's okay. I think I'm just gonna lock it all in place, just so that way we just know, you know what I mean? So, if anything, we can always start it up on here and test it out before we take it out there. So anyways, yeah, let's tighten these engine mounts down and go from there. Okay, so queso. So now that's on, but the chain is now officially back on the tight side. So we just need to adjust out our tensioners, which I freaking love, and give them a little bit of slack on both sides, and then yeah, shove that a little more forward, and then there we go. And the only thing that I'm concerned about, but it's like, it's built this way too, is that chain is awfully close to that guard right there. But it's, I mean, it's almost as if they purposely made it that way. And that chain's still a little tight, so we may pull it out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But for the most part, she's good. I think. I hope. We hope. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Like, seriously, nothing's rubbing. Well, nothing's rubbing terribly bad. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty good. Everything seems really solid. Like, I mean, we tightened everything down, and you know, she's spinning, and I don't hear any like metal grinding or anything, and everything seems fine. So I think we're gonna call it good for today, because that's a good like progress. And then tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, but Monday, because tomorrow we're doing some other stuff. We'll come back, we'll freaking knock out swapping the front wheel, because we have another front wheel and tire right over there. Yep. That functions well. Well, it has a good tube. Swap that out, and then work on the throttle cable. Actually, no, throttle cable first. That's the most important. Then we'll do the wheel. And then once the throttle cable's on, I mean, we could start it now, but I think we're gonna wait until that's done. And then we do also, at some point, need to figure out our exhaust system, where I think we're gonna also try and reuse maybe the old one, or maybe just bolt a new one on there. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out too. So, because we don't want that exhaust just blown straight up into Rhonda's face. So anyways, we're gonna call it good for today, and then come back soon. And we're back at the shop, and Rhonda's back with us. Oh, and I just realized, and actually I saw it earlier, so I lied. But I just realized in the photo, Rhonda's sporting the ETM 540 Clubhouse shirt. And that's right. And guess what? Amazon special, baby. Woo! And yeah, it only took them about 4 weeks, and they actually did like a screen print heat press mix, but it actually looks pretty rad. I'm kind of stoked. I mean, but what do you expect? It's freaking Amazon. Amazon! So, as you guys saw from the other day, actually it's only been like a day, Harry and I got everything all hard mounted onto the engine plate. And then now what Rhonda and I want to do today is get the throttle hooked up, and also the exhaust system. So we're probably going to use an exhaust from our little exhaust pile over here. And then for the throttle, it's actually... I choked on my nuts again. So peanuts, people. They're salted peanuts. You get your mind out of the gutter. So the throttle system, they actually, what's really cool about Phantom Motors is that they give you the option of either having the little hand control like you would normally have on like your rototiller and stuff, which is right here. And they have like all these attachments to where you can hook up a cable like off of a throttle cable twist and all that stuff. So it should go fairly quick and easy.
Famous last words.
Yep. But hey, we're going to give it a shot. But it is pretty straightforward, so I'm hoping it'll go pretty quick. So to start, we're going to at least get the airbox off the stock muffler, expose everything, and then we'll freaking go from there. So let's stop talking. Get to work. Yeah, as usual, so much for it being easy. we started doing all that, and there was no cable attached to it, so we got to just get a throttle cable for it, which we probably have somewhere in our parts box, and then we'll move on to the next step. So where is it? There it is. So that's not gonna work, just because the cable and everything wasn't functioning well with what we need to accomplish. So, luckily we have a mini bike that has exactly what we need on it, and this thing isn't fully completed yet. We just started working on it. This was actually like all stuff that was freebie parts, engine stuff we had laying around, and we just kind of pieced it together. But the great part about it is that it has a long enough cable and throttle assembly that will work out perfectly. And actually, now that I think about it, it's got a freaking spring that'll work too. So yeah, so we're gonna hook this sucker up and utilize that so we can get moving. Boom! Well, I didn't film it. I don't know why, but that's all right because we're shaking and moving. Shaking and moving. Yep. So, freaking these Predator engines are amazing. They have so many different options.
It broke.
Yeah. So all we had to do is loosen up this nut, and then it gives it enough free play to where that, will spring load and whatnot, and you can utilize a throttle control rather than like a solid cable control or using a hand control on that side. And so we loosen everything, utilize that throttle control we took off the mini bike over there, put it on, and now it is functioning. So we're stoked. Pull on that thing. So boom, boom. I mean, we have throttle. So if, so long as we don't have any major issues with the motor off the showroom floor, it should fire right up and idle as is. I mean, I'm sure we do need to make some adjustments, but that's a huge step. That's boom right here. Give it. Stoked. All right, so with the throttle being all taken care of now we're gonna move on to exhaust, and we happen to have this one that seems to fit the best out of all the other ones we got, and we don't need it for anything in particular. So we are going to modify this BF and put it back on. And then Rhonda is going to shop for her Royal Enfield motorcycle for accessories. So yeah, yep, she's doing a good job of that too. So yeah, we're going to make that happen. And just in light of the reason behind her shopping for her accessories, she's going to go on an all girls babe ride here locally. With Elizabeth and friends and people and stuff, and yeah, so she needs some luggage. She needs some room for that stuff. Gotta be able to ring a sleeping bag somehow. So yeah, exhaust. Squirrel!
Yeah.
Squirrel! Alright, well, through all that, she has custom exhaust. But now that I'm actually looking at it, I mean, it does stick out a little on that pipe right there, but her leg's going to be out a little further. And we still have the torque converter cover to put back on there. But I'll tell you one thing, we're getting more used to that welder, so it feels definitely better. Still not where we want to be yet, but I mean, it's getting easier. So, but yeah, exhaust is on, so I think we're gonna piece this thing back together with the air cleaner cover, put some oil in it, and I think we can actually fire it up. So it's up to this girl.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it, honey. Yeah, we might get hit with copyright infringement for that one. All right, let's do it. Okay, air cleaner's on, exhaust on, spark plug on. Well, we need to put fuel in it. I think we have fuel. Yes, we do. And then now we're gonna go through the before you start thing. Let's see, add fluids, add oil to engine crankcase, add fuel, and assembly's done. Starting procedure, boom, bam, boom, got it? Perfect, all right, let's go. Gas is in, oil is definitely in. No shortage in oil, that's for dang sure. And we're ready to fire this beast up. I don't know, predictions?
Be awesome.
I'm thinking the same thing. So we're gonna go through the firing procedure and see how it goes. So I'm gonna set this down in a position that will capture everything, so that way if it catches on fire for some reason, then it'll make for good content. So perfect, let's do it. So on, the run, start that way, gas on, start that way, throw a little fuel in, and go ahead and pull on that little cord. Oh. Run. Oh! Yeah, lift her up. Before we do anything with the throttle, she works! And the exhaust functions. I mean, I'm sure there's a leak somewhere in there, but it's got a legit exhaust. Torque converter's working good. Engine sounds great. Everything up to this point seems to be okay. Yeah, that one's okay. We're not using that one. That's fine. There's a little spinner here. Little disco. But it fired up second pull, right? Second pull? We'll go back to the video if needed. That torque converter's working beautifully. She sounds great. That's smoking a little bit, but that's just burning off the stuff from the exhaust. And then rev that. Pull on that. Go ahead, rev it. Go ahead, hit it, give it a hit. There we go, torque converter doing its job. And the chain doesn't seem to be rubbing up on anything whatsoever. That little metal that you're hearing is that. I forgot to take that off before I rolled it, I know. So, yeah, we're good. Woohoo! Woo! That's so badass. I love it. Then hit your brakes. So yeah. So whatever's on that just needs to burn off. So. Oh my God, the exhaust is working great. Rhonda's putting on the old torque converter cover. So now we let it run for a little bit and just idle, and then revved it a couple times. And so I just want to check the oil and make sure everything's good. Pull the air cleaner cover off and just double check on that. Make sure it's not spitting anything back up there. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. And then she's gonna put the torque converter cover on. And then I think we're gonna go get some food because that's a lot. That was a good amount of stuff to accomplish. Custom made exhaust, throttle, and first fire up. So yeah, so we're gonna do that and then go from there. Ew. Covers on, exhaust on, everything's tightened down up to this point. I mean, we're gonna have to go back through and probably double check nuts and bolts, but feeling pretty good. So, and she fired up. So Rhonda's doing some cleanup of the tanks, the oil and the fuel tank back there. Just kind of getting some of the little bit of the grime off there, some dirt and whatnot. So we want to just kind of have, I mean, it's Wasteland. We want them dirty, but we don't want, you know, like overly greased stuff going on. And I think we're going to call it good for the day. Go get some food. Some food in the belly. Need to eat something. I'm fat. Actually, I'm not necessarily too bad right now, which is nice. So yeah, let's go eat. We're getting food. Food. Labor Day food. Tri-tip dip. ELTA. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I feel better now. Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't like mine at all. It's terrible. Just whatever. Just documenting video evidence of my death and how I died. Oh god. Oh god. See what I'm doing? Look at what I'm dealing with here. Look at that. I mean, hey, hi. Hey, yep. You gonna butter some bread? You gonna butter some bread? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, I could use some bread. Oh, you're picking your teeth. Okay, that works. Never mind. Don't forget about what I said. Just totally disregard the murder thing. We're good. I think we're good. She just wanted bread. She was just hungry for bread. It's fine. We're good. Hi.
Love you.
Yeah, we didn't make it back to the shop. I mean, come on. After that food, there was no way I was going to make it back to work on the motorcycle anymore. I mean, I'm already showered in PJs, so. But I remembered, I'm like, I got to say goodbye to everyone. Just because, honestly, like, we've just gone through such an influx of, like, subscribers, and, like we'll just all of a sudden see this burst of them, and then for a little bit, there'll just be a few, and then all of a sudden, like, next thing you know, there's 10 more. And I just want to thank every single person who keeps supporting us and following us and just, like, joining the Clubhouse and, you know, having fun with us. I mean, seriously, like, we love seeing comments. We love, you know, being able to bring you guys into our world. And we thank you all so much for all the support. It's been amazing. And we want to keep it going and grow it bigger. And, you know, yeah, so we're super stoked. So thank you, everyone, seriously, from my family's, the bottom of my family's hearts, to you. Thank you guys all so much. We love you. And remember, if you're going to thrash responsibly, and don't do it on a full stomach, because you won't be able to do anything. All right, guys, we love you. Take care.